How many votes would it take to pass this bill with the emergency clause?
That would be 4/5, Senator.
And what would be the exact number for that, Madam President?
Yes, sir, that would be 32.
And then the senator that she said yes, sir, to storms out of the chamber.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote?
No,
Have all the senators? I am not here to upset anyone.
This is her response.
I am here to do the job that the people of Virginia have called me to do, and that is to treat everyone with respect and dignity. I myself have at times not been afforded that same respect and dignity. But in this body, and as long as I am president of the Senate, and by the grace of God, I will be treated with respect and dignity, and I will treat everyone else with respect and dignity.
So this is Virginia's Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears. The people she offended were the trans activists because she referred to a male lawmaker as sir. And the male lawmaker in question is Democrat Danica Roem, who identifies as a female and is an elected member of Virginia's Senate. And when he was referred to as sir, and you could tell, the public radio in Virginia, you can tell that these are like the remedial, singular brain-celled products of cousin-loving incest, because they characterize this as, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, she said it with, they try to act like she put emphasis on the word sir. Now, you've heard it. I played it for you. I listened to this audio several times. She was literally looking at papers and the votes coming in, and she is just like she's talking, hearing from different senators and like going through. She was too busy doing her damn job to sit here and try to, sir. She just said, yes, thank you, sir. That's it. That's all she did. That's people trying to, they're trying to bully this black lieutenant governor and trying to make her bend the knee. And I noticed it was a bunch of chubby white progressive beta, probably not even baby girl boys that were writing about this at Virginia Public Radio. Yes, I'm making fun of everyone because they absolutely deserve it. So you had the senators storm out of the chamber, right? And then Democrats who control the Senate, they halted all business. They halted all business. And they were trying to make Earl-Sears apologize. And she says, we're all equal under the law. I apologize. And I would hope everyone would understand she didn't actually apologize. And Rome wasn't owed an apology either. Who are you to sit here and demand that a woman bend a knee to you, sir? You know, women Republicans supported this. This is why I always say the patriarchy is progressive. Go and look at who supported women's suffrage and who didn't. Go and look. You go and look and you come back and you tell me who supported women's suffrage and who didn't, because it sure as hell wasn't Democrats. They were the ones who fought against it. They always have been on the wrong side of every issue all throughout history, whether it is slavery, whether it is the genocide of indigenous populations here in the United States, or whether it is women voting and being able to, not have to go to the poorhouse if they don't have any male relatives once their husband passes. Democrats have always opposed that. They were the ones who were out there bullying the suffragettes. They were out there bullying Susan B. Anthony and terrorizing her. It was Democrats. So no, women, because of Republican chivalry, were able to actually have that. I mean, we can be able to have our voices. We can have taxation with representation. How about that? And so, no, we're not going to go back to those days and have our speech stolen from us by the progressive patriarchy once again. No, Rome wasn't owed an apology. I wanted to share with you this woman. Her name is Patricia Stevens. She's a trans activist, and she was lobbying for women and gender studies, which is a stupid humanities course of examination that just complains about men. That's all it is. It's one of the stupidest courses you could ever waste your money on in higher ed. And she said that she didn't think it was fair that Winsome Sears used as an excuse for misgendering someone. Misgendering isn't a real offense. It's a make-believe term that is pulled from the ether by activists who desperately want some sort of leverage in the self-victimization games. There is zero offense in recognizing and verbalizing scientific fact. End of. And the Beta Boys over at Virginia Public Radio, they said that this is how they described it. They go, couching her apology in victimhood did not work. They were actually had the audacity and complete, apparently, self-unawareness to say that they characterized the lieutenant governor's response as couched in victimhood. It's pretty amazing. That's how they couched it. Rome wasn't an apology, but have you noticed that if it's a competition between a white man versus a black woman, usually, the Democrat rules win out for the most part. But the white man wins with the left if he's trans. You can be a dude and be as abusive to any woman as you want to. If you're progressive, you can be, especially if you're trans. I just find that dynamic entirely weird. Because imagine if Rowan was a Republican, just a Republican dude, and Earl-Sears was a black female Democrat lieutenant governor. Oh my gosh, they would be up in arms because of the identity politics and party affiliation. But you flip it and somehow he wins the victimhood stakes because he's trans. They were really ignorant to Winsome Earl-Sears when she was running. Just the horrible, actually legitimately progressive racist things that they said. And I say progressive because that's where it originates. She didn't owe anyone an apology. There was no, if anybody needs to apologize, it's Rome apologizing to her. You don't get to storm out because someone doesn't affirm your false fantasy self-perception. You don't get to hijack the awareness of reality that we as women have of science and gender. You don't get to storm out and demand that we give up our right to acknowledge reality, that we give up our right to free speech, to affirm your lie. Rome owes everyone an apology. He is owed no apology. The demand of an apology in this instance comes at the expense of a right. The right of a woman, or a man really, to exercise scientific truth in discourse. So when they tell you you have to affirm their pronouns, when they tell you you have to affirm their false self-perception, they are demanding you forfeit a right. And it is a civic responsibility to refuse. It is a scientific responsibility to refuse. It's a responsibility to your own self to refuse. So good on Winsome Sears. And that's storming out and acting like a victimhood. That don't work. That doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on most ladies out there either. But see, again, that's a man cosplaying as a woman, playing up the sexist characteristics that he attributes to women. Have you noticed it's sexist cosplay? It's like a sexist caricature playing up these different indicators because that's what they attribute to being female. It is the most sexist theater of what a woman is that I can imagine. Cosplaying as a woman when you're a man.